Welcome back to the Indie Beauty Network vlog. It is network, not community. I said community in the first two videos. I almost refilmed completely, but I'll just let it be. We all make mistakes. It's okay. But it is in fact the Indie Beauty Network. That is the name. So welcome back to the vlog, or welcome if you are brand new here. I'm covering a current series of the top 5 mistakes I see brands making on social media. I covered a few in the last 2 vlogs, so you can check those out too. Today, I'm going to cover 2 topics because one's not very long, and that is sales. One of the biggest mistakes I see brands making on social media is that they're trying so hard to make immediate sales off of a post. That is not the way to go about it. I know that's what some people might have promised you. You might have just seen that, or you might see other brands posting to get sales and you assume that they're getting sales. Don't assume that they are just because they're trying. It may look like they are. It is really hard to generate immediate sales off of a post, especially as an indie brand. It's very, very difficult. You have to rethink what social media is for. And first and foremost, it's for branding. Second, it's part of your sales funnel, but it's a part of the sales funnel. It is not sales. It really isn't. You really have to rethink that, or you're just going to get frustrated every single time you post and don't see sales come in, or every time you have a collab with a creator. You're just going to get super frustrated, and it's going to keep you from continuing to do your job properly on social media. And what that really is giving information. You are nurturing your following. That they call those nurturing posts. You just can't have every single post be about, buy this or this sale or that sale. Not to say that you can't ever post that, but I mean, I tell you, I will go months without posting about a sale or about booking on my Christina Williams media account. Very rarely, very, very rarely will I be posting, hey, we're open booking, da da da. No, I'm posting my content. I'm sharing what it is that I do so that it's helping brand me in the minds of my followers, of you guys. My base is all indie beauty brands. I will hopefully have made it into your mind as the place to go for affordable beauty content, because that's what I post. That's what I show. That's how I nurture. I don't just post, hey, please book me for your photography. People see my photography, they like it, and they come to me and they say, hey, how do I work with you? That's how it goes. And it's the same way with a product-based business. You need to just show off your product, show off your texture, show off your product on models or creators. Just show it off. Just think of that as that's your job, is to just be showing off. I know that's kind of a hard rhythm on social media to get into. It's hard, but you're sharing yourself, you're sharing your brand, you're sharing what you're creating, what you're proud of. Share it, show it, post it as often as you can. You really have to take into consideration the branding aspect of it. And with that, you have to think about the customer's why. Your ideal buyer has a what they're going to purchase. They have a why, they have a when. The when, now that's the most important thing. You can't force somebody's when to come quicker. Now, there are things you can try to do with limited time sales and stuff to try to move that up, but that's another post. That's a different set of tips. We'll go over that some other time. But you have to meet them at their when. And so you have to, that's why it's called nurturing. You're nurturing them along the way, keeping in contact with them, keeping your product in their mind. That's branding, staying at the forefront of their mind for whatever it is that you offer. Because, like, for example, prom dresses. Nobody's going to buy a prom dress in the middle of summer or in the middle of winter, right? They buy it in the spring when it's prom time, right? So a dress brand on social media cannot just constantly post, buy our dresses, buy our dresses, buy our dresses all year round and expect to get sales that way off social media posts. It doesn't work that way. But what they can do is constantly show what they have and connect with the customer, so they have that connection, they have that rapport built up, they've branded themselves in that consumer's mind, so that when prom does roll around, their when does come around, they're like, ah, I want to shop with that brand. I feel connected to that brand, or I know that they have the kind of dresses that is my style, right? So, and now skincare, what's the when for skincare? I know a lot of my followers are skincare brands. Well, if somebody's in the middle of using, we're all kind of in the middle of using a skincare routine, right? We're not going to go out and buy something new and expensive until we've used up our current one, right? So that's an important when to consider. If somebody's just opened a new bottle of something else, they're not going to see your post and be like, ooh, okay, I'm going to throw this away and spend money on a brand new one. It just doesn't work like that. They just don't shop like that, obviously. You really have to get into that mind of your ideal buyer. When is their when? And I will say, with a lot of my followers, something that you can do to push up the when is having somebody switch to natural or switch to organic ingredients. That's something that, especially with the new year coming up, that's a big push. That's a great time to push people and encourage people to make the switch, to finally make that switch to vegan, cruelty-free, organic, natural ingredients, all that good stuff. That's a great example of a when that you can kind of encourage on people and kind of push up their when just a little bit. And like I said, it's part of the sales funnel. It's the awareness stage. It's the information gathering stage. It is not the very end of the sales journey. That happens on your website when they've clicked on your link. But honestly, think about it. Think about yourself, and when you're scrolling, how many times do you actually like something and go to that person's website, right? It doesn't happen very often. It has to be when you are ready to purchase. So it's your job is to help with the awareness stage and the information gathering stage on social media, not the final sales stage. So you really have to just take a step back and stop thinking about it as a free way to hopefully get sales. If you just get enough followers, you'll start getting a ton of sales on there. If you just get a viral video, if you just this, just that, it just doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. Now creators, that's one way to kind of skip a step, because people already trust them. If somebody's a well-known beauty vlogger, beauty blogger, they have a base that trusts their opinion and trusts their review. And so that can get somebody further along in their buyer's journey, and they can skip a couple of steps because they'll take the influencer's word for it. So that's just one example of how that works, basically. But again, those are totally other subjects for a different time. But just take a step back. Remember that social media is an excellent, excellent tool for branding, for connecting with your customers, for connecting with your potential buyers, for getting the word out there about your product, and just showing what you can do, showing what you make. Just enjoy that journey. Take the pressure off yourself to make a sale every time you post. Take that pressure off and let the fruits of your labor with social media be the content, the quality of the content that you're posting, the quality of the connections that you're making with customers on there. And that's a much quicker way to get sales than trying so hard to get sales, if that makes sense. Now, the fifth and final top mistake I see brands making on social media is that they neglect SEO. SEO counts now on social media. That's huge. That's awesome. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. What do we know about, what does everybody kind of know about SEO nowadays? Keywords. Keywords are important. Be like, what was that? It was Frank's hot sauce. The old lady was like, I put that shit on everything. Put those keywords on everything. Your username, your account name, your bio, your highlight names. That's a good tip right there that you don't want to overlook, is use your highlight names for keywords too. And of course, your post captions. I know not everybody can go changing their names if your name is something kind of obscure and cool, but it doesn't really have the name of your product in it. Like if you sell organic skincare and organic skincare is not part of your name and you've already established your name, I get it. That's, too bad. Too late, too bad. That's okay. Just do what you can from then on, It's not worth changing your brand name just to get it, in there. But you can make sure you're using those keywords in your bio. Now, the bio, that could be a whole other post too. in my opinion, the best bio tells who you are, what you sell, and who you're selling it to. Like, you're a organic skincare brand that makes body care for people with sensitive skin. That can be its own little bio right there. That's a nice little snippet that is descriptive, and it has those keywords in there. Now, you really want to think about your highlights too. Like I said, you can use those titles. You can name your highlights whatever you want to name them. That's just such a great SEO tool. I see people doing all kinds of cutesy, kind of just very, very random titles for their highlights, and it's really, really hurting your SEO, or it's definitely not helping your SEO, that's for sure. So if you are an organic skincare brand, you should have some highlights named skincare. You should have organic skincare as one of your highlight names. If you sell body care, you should have body care as one of your highlight names. And the great thing about highlights is you can put a ton of them up. It's only a certain amount fits on the screen at a time to display, but you can put way more than what fits on the screen, and it's still going to count for SEO. So that's just brilliant. So think of those kind of like category tabs on your website. So just basically just go to your website. What are your category tabs? What are your shopping categories? Use those keywords in your individual highlights. You are limited to the amount of characters, so you might have to get a little creative and, sacrifice here and there certain phrases because you can't fit it all in to a highlight name. It just depends on the key phrase. And then you want to repeat those keywords in your captions. That's the thing about SEO, is the more you try to post about a whole bunch of different things, the worse your SEO is going to be. You need to keep a narrow focus. You really do. As narrow a focus as you can. And that way you're repeating the same keywords in your bio, in your highlights, in your post caption. And I mentioned this in a previous vlog here, but it's worth mentioning again. Do not do keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is considered when you randomly just toss in a bunch of keywords just to have them there, but they're not organic. Like you might see on creators' posts where it's almost like how they have hashtags. They'll have the keywords, just a string of them, just listed, just not in a sentence, basically. That is considered keyword stuffing. That's a no-no. That's going to hurt your SEO. You really want to work the key phrase or keywords into your caption naturally in a paragraph, in sentences, for it to count. And as you're going along with your posts, they might not all relate back perfectly to your highlights. If you may not be sure what to add in, what to post about, what keywords to plan your posts around, look up a keyword search tool. Just literally Google keyword search tool, and there are free ones that you can use to find out what the best keywords are in your category. And then what you can do to find keywords and key phrases that are like really trending at the moment, use the creator tool on TikTok. You can literally just do in the search bar creator tools, and then it'll let you search in your niche what's being searched the most, like on TikTok, not on Google, but on TikTok. And that'll give you a good idea of subcategories to include and the right key phrases to include. Like I worked with a fragrance brand a couple of years back, and it was just when the gourmand trend was coming onto the scene, and it came up in creator tools. And so I was able to tell them to include that in their keywords on Instagram. So that's just a good example of that right there, where it may not be something that's trending in Google yet, but is trending on TikTok, and that's going to help you on Instagram. And it's going to help you as that trend starts to emerge in Google. You're going to already be indexed under that keyword. So it kind of gets you ahead of the curve there. Another thing that really helps with SEO is being accessibility compliant. That is, I talked about that too in another vlog, but so I'll be quick here, but it's about how well you are catering to those with disabilities. So something that helps with Instagram is having alt text on your photos. It's during the posting stage when you're posting, and there's like more options at the bottom, and then you scroll to the bottom again, and it'll be right there. It'll say write alt text, and so you write alt text for your photos. And there you do want to do just listing one keyword after the other, or keyword or key phrase that pertains to that photo. And the biggest SEO tip I could give you guys is just be who you are, be what you're posting. Don't post one thing and then try to put hashtags and a caption about other things. You need to be stacking content, stacking words to where they all support each other. You can't just have, you know, a random picture of your dog. I know we all love our dogs, we do. And you can put that in a carousel, put that in stories, whatever, but don't make it the main focus. And whatever the main focus of your picture is, that had better be the main focus of your caption too. Don't ramble off on some tangent about something else. Talk about what you're posting about. Make sure that everything lines up with what it truly essentially is, and that's going to help your overall SEO too. That is it for the top 5 mistakes I see brands making on social media. If you've missed any of the other ones, just check out my 2 previous vlogs, and that's where you'll find them. I hope you found this one helpful, and just leave any questions below in the comment section. I'll answer them. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.